All right, lesson 5, variables on both sides. So I can solve equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. So before, we've only experienced variables on one side of the equal sign. So if we draw our line, all of our variables are either on the left or on the right. So if you see, the only time we see an x here is on the left-hand side. There are no variables on the right. Now, in this lesson, we draw that line at our equal sign. We see variables on the left and variables on the right. So that's what we mean variables on both sides. It's on both sides of that equal sign. So with that comes a new step in our equation solving. So distributing is the same, and then 3 through 4 are the same. Number 2 becomes new, and it's move variables to one side. And to do that, you're either going to add or subtract. So we're still going to draw our line, and we're still going to walk through each of our steps. So if we look at our steps, distribute means multiply. Do we see parentheses? No. So we don't need to distribute for this one. Move variables to one side. Well, I see a negative 8x on the left, and I see a positive 4x on the right. So yes, I need to do this step. To do it, I'm going to add or subtract. So I can add 8x to the right, or I can subtract 4x from the left. I always want to move the smaller one, because it's going to make things a little bit easier. So I am going to choose to move this 8x, this negative 8x. To undo a negative, I have to use a positive. So I'm going to do plus 8x on the left, and I'm going to do plus 8x on the right. When I do that, I get rid of the negative 8x because negative 8 plus 8 is 0. And then I bring down that 7. Equals 4x plus 8x is 12x. And then I bring down that minus 17. Now the next step is combine like terms. Well, if I look, 12x and 17, they don't have the same variable. One has an x, one does not. So I also don't have to do combine like terms. What I can do, though, is my last two steps. Undo addition and subtraction. So on the side with my variable, I need to undo this minus 17 with a plus 17. Add 17 to both sides. 7 plus 17 is 24 equals the 12x comes down. Last step, we undo that multiplication with division, undo times 12 with divided by 12 on both sides. 24 divided by 12 is 2 equals 12 divided by 12 is x. So x equals 2. Next example, we have 24 minus 3m equals 5m. So if we look, distribute, parentheses, we don't have any parentheses, so we don't need to distribute. Move variables to one side. Look and see if we have them on both sides. I have a negative 3m and a 5m. So I'm going to move this negative 3m over to join the 5m. To do that, I have to undo the minus with a plus. I'm going to add 3m to the left and add 3m to the right. That goes away, leaving us with 24 equals 5m plus 3m equals 8m. Now if I look, 8m is the only thing over here, which I know means multiply, which means we don't have to do step 3 or 4, but we do have to do step 5, which is undo that multiplication with division. So we're going to divide by 8 to undo that multiplication. Complete that on both sides. 24 divided by 8 is 3 equals 8 divided by 8 cancels, leaving us with m. One more example here. We have 5g minus 2 equals 2 times the quantity 3g minus 4. So first step is to distribute, and this time we have parentheses, so we are going to distribute that 2. Now remember, distribute means multiply. So we're going to do 2 times g. 2 times g is 6g. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Equals 5g minus 2. That stays the same. Next step is to move our variables to one side. Now, I see a 5g and a 6g. So again, we want to move the smaller one. So I'm going to move 5g, which is positive. So I'm going to undo that positive 5g with a minus 5g. By minus 5g on the left, I have to minus 5g on the right. 5g minus 5g is 0. Bring down that minus 2. Please don't forget that negative sign there. Equals 6g minus 5g is 1g. And then bring down the minus 8. Combine like terms we don't have to do because we see 1g and 8. 1 has a g, 8 does not have a g, so we don't have like terms. But what we can do is undo addition and subtraction. We look on the side with our variable, we have a minus 8 that we can undo with a plus 8. Do that on both sides. Negative 2 plus 8 is 6 equals 1g, which is really the same as g, comes down, and then negative 8 plus 8 is nothing. So now if we look, our variable is all by itself, which means we are done. That is it. We don't have to undo multiplication or division because our variable is already by itself. So g equals 6. That's all of your notes for today. Go ahead and move on into the practice.